Now, just so you see, I literally typed the same thing that was there before, but they changed it because they stopped the video. I mean, tried to say that it was storage issues, right? But now they've switched what it said before. Aim to brainwash or demoralize individuals and societies through intense, sustained fear messages, ideological subversion, and sleep deprivation. Techniques include sensory deprivation, falsified information, and truth serums, often leading to mental breakdown. Right? So, falsified information, gaslighting, pretty much. Techniques include sensory deprivation. As described in this Big Think interview by former KGB agent Yuri Bezmenov. A major focus, 85% of the effort, was ideological subversion, which involves changing the perception of reality to prevent people from defending their interests. Long-term fear programming research mentioned in this LinkedIn post indicates that bombarding subjects with continuous fear messages for 2 months or less can permanently fix a false belief in their minds. Interrogation and torture. Sleep deprivation, using methods like cells with sloped, ice cold, or wet floors to prevent sleep. Sensory deprivation. Prolonged isolation to cause mental breakdown. Truth serums, use of drugs to create dreamlike haze, breaking down resistance. That's why they always want you high and stuff like that. That's part of why I stopped smoking, because what I noticed was when I'm at work and I would start chiefing with my coworkers, the harassment would go up like tenfold, right? And then Zerzetsun, Stasi. I've definitely posted about this multiple times before. While often associated with East German Stasi, working closely with the KGB, Zerzetsun involves systematic covert harassment. Again, Zerzetsun involves systematic covert harassment designed to cause paranoia and psychological destruction, including manipulating personal lives, work, and reputation. Focus on brainwashing. In the 1950s and the 60s, these methods were often collectively labeled brainwashing, stemming from KGB show trials and interrogation techniques employed during Korean War. These actions were designed not only to extract information, but to break the subject's willpower and belief system. So when I'm reading those Korean mangas and they have a lot of the harassment in them, the manhwa and stuff like that, yeah, it's a real thing. Don't believe me? Let me pause it. I'll be back. This is the documentation on the CIA government website. Examine psychological control experiments in USSR. Various unclassified material. Right? Examine psychological control experiments in the USSR. Editorial report. Moscow. So when Michael Jackson is saying, like a stranger in Moscow, right? KGB was stalking me. Stalin's tomb, they won't let me be. Right? This is pretty much what he's talking about. He was being gangstar. Right? Teleradio company, television first program, network in Russian at 1920 GMT on 17 September in its Novosti newscast broadcast a 40-minute program entitled Black Box, dealing with the devices and drugs used in the former USSR to influence and bend the human brain. The program begins with the presenter noting that apparently a program for implementing methods of psychological influence was submitted to then Prime Minister, I don't even know how to say this man's name, in 1987. There were plans to use psychological influence for military and economic. I got to. They don't want me giving you this information. Didn't I just say noise campaigns out my window? And it's always louder if I just open the window. So imagine how loud it has to be, right? But like I said, I don't know how to say his name. They were planned to use psychological influence for military and economic purposes. The program goes on to deal with the methods of influencing people's physical and mental condition and exerting influence on their decisions. An unidentified man comments on the work which was carried out to implement this program. He says that a commission consisting of 20 people was set up. There were six academicians among them, and a scientific council led by academician, I don't even know how to say, Kotelnikov, I don't know how to say their names. These are Russian names and stuff. Approved for release. Boom. So these are TV programs. I didn't even get to the full, you feel me? The full experiments like the MK Ultra, the Project Mockingbird and all of that good stuff. Right? Project Monarch, Project Bluebeam and all of these things. Soviet hypnotist. I'm just showing you. Like I said, this is from the CIA.gov. I don't make it up. You could look the whole thing up yourself. Right? Because I went just from Instagram. People were like, oh, stop reading Instagram posts. That's all fake. No. I literally Googled it, went to the Instagram. It took me back here to the official unclassified documentations. See, I could literally go back. It was that same, you see? Let me see, was it this one? But you get the point. It's a very real thing. Now, hold up. We'll pause again. Now, this is my Facebook. So you see, I've been talking about this. See, Stasi and all the people they recruited to harass me, lawyers, fire department, etc. You know what I'm saying, etc., etc. Do your own research. I would tell you this every time, but do your own research. This was other like sites and stuff. You feel me? You just heard the noise pollution outside the window just from me sitting there talking about it. I was joking around here, and I was like, I enjoy it. And it goes back, 2022. You feel me? Over 4 years ago, you feel me? I enjoy long walks on the beach and random conversation with Stacy. See, I was joking with the little symbol because they like to do their symbols to hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, right? But like I usually do, I'll tell you, do your own research. Look up the Stasi, look up KGB, look up MK Ultra, look up Project Monarch, Project Bluebeam, all of these things. Check like the sex trafficking and human trafficking statistics in your area and the rest of the world, and get right with God for protection from all of this nonsense because they're still doing it. See, that's why, and it's still a question I got. I wonder how many people the Stasi intimidated into participating in all of this. I wonder how many fake Stasi police type operatives are involved in this. That's my MK Ultra organized mobbing or gang stalking that they do to me every day. But to end out this video, as I usually do, I'm going to say my prayer because the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And in the true name of the Most High, my Lord